I don't know if you watch Paul Harrell or not. If you don't, you probably should be. He puts out some really good content. Last week he showed us what would happen if we had to shoot from bed underneath the covers. The firearms had several malfunctions, and that's because the bedding was causing the gun to malfunction, either the hammer or the slide or whatnot. And it really got me thinking, what if I had to do that from underneath the covers with the gun that I sleep with? Well, let's find out. Well, that worked out great. What's up, guys? My name is Scott and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics, and today we have another 50 cal versus 50 cal video for you. We're going to be shooting 50 BMG versus 500 Auto Max. For the 500 Auto Max, we have the only firearm chambered in 500 Auto Max, and that is the Bighorn Armory AR-500. And for the 50 BMG, we're going to be shooting the Serbu RN-50. So for our targets, we have some mild steel ranging from 1/8 of an inch all the way to an inch of mild steel. We have cinder blocks, and we have oak boards that are about 3/4 of an inch thick, or maybe a little wider than that. Now, I wanted to use pine boards, but I figured it'd take way too many to stop the 50 BMG, so we're going to use oak boards today. But you will have a pine board test sometime soon with the 500 Auto Max. And then we also have 5-gallon buckets of water. So here's the problem with bringing buckets of water out here to shoot. There's no water source out here. There's no water hose. There is a creek, but that would be really inconvenient to be walking buckets down there and filling them up and walking them back up here. So here's what I did. I filled up 2 55-gallon drums of water, and I bought a siphon. So now I've got my own little personal water hose out here. And it's taking about 6 minutes to fill up one 5-gallon bucket. What was that? So here's a real quick size comparison. Here is a 575 grain hard cast for the 500 Auto Max. And this is a 660 grain full metal jacket for the 50 BMG. Now, the 50 BMG has more gunpowder and the case is much bigger, so it looks a lot bigger than the 500 Auto Max. But when it comes to bullet weight, this 50 BMG is only 85 grains heavier than the 500 Auto Max. So it should be interesting to see what this one does, moving much faster, and this one does a little slower, but pretty much the same bullet weights. Okay, let's get this party started. We have 24 oak boards set up that are a little over 3/4 of an inch thick, and we're loaded up with some 575 grain hard cast and our 500 Auto Max. There's the bullet right there. What would Edwin do? Ow! Okay, I'll make this quick because you guys don't like it when I count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We stopped in 5. Left a pretty good mark at number 6, but we stopped in number 5. I don't think that's going to come out of there. I'm going to have to put the camera down. Hold on. That is one big wad of hard cast lead. Went through 4 boards, stopped at number 5. Let's see what we can do with the 50 BMG with 660 grain full metal jackets. Okay, let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check that out. Lost its jacket there in that board. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is 16. And here's 17, and it looks like it shot out the side, broke the board though, and did not hit number 18. Now if you walk over here, there's the bullet. Shot off over here and hit the dirt, and there it is right there on top. That's a steel core right there. That is awesome. Now we have some cinder blocks set up. We're going to start out with the 500 Auto Max again with some 575 grain hard cast. So we went through 1, 2, 3, nearly 4 layers of concrete. Well, we broke this last piece right here, but didn't make it all the way through it. But almost 4 layers of concrete with 1 shot from the 500 Auto Max. And here's the bullet right here on the table. That concrete chewed it up pretty good. We still have 7 layers of concrete left over. Let's hit it one more time with the 500 Auto Max. So that time we went through 1, 2, 3 layers of concrete again. So in 2 shots, we made it through 6 layers of concrete with the 500 Auto Max. Let's see how many we make it through with 1 shot from the 50 BMG. Dang it, I'm bleeding. I always manage to cut myself when I'm out here. Pretty sure it was on the cinder blocks. Now let's see how many layers we make it through with the 50 BMG. Golly. Okay, so the 50 BMG made it through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of concrete. But can we find the bullet? I doubt it. No, I don't think we're going to find it. So the 50 BMG made it through 6 layers of concrete. Now that's impressive, but what impressed me most about this test was we were able to get the same results with just 2 shots from the 500 Auto Max. I brought several different thicknesses of steel, but I don't think there's any point in us shooting 1/8 or 3/16. So we're just going to go ahead and start out with 1/4, and again we're loaded up with some 575 grain hard cast in our 500 Auto Max. Also, the steel is at a slight angle, so if we have a ricochet, hopefully it'll hit the dirt. If not, we'll have the next viral video. Dang! Blew right through that. So just FYI, this dent right here is from a 350 grain extreme penetrator out of a 500 Magnum with a 10-inch barrel. But as you can see, our 575 grain hard cast out of the 500 Auto Max blew right through this steel. That's awesome. And then we hit our backstop. So the next step up is a 1/2 inch of steel. So it does not look like we made it through. We put a pretty good dent in it, and there is a little bit of a bulge on the back, but we did not make it through a 1/2 inch of steel. So just out of curiosity, I'm going to shoot that steel one more time with the 500 Auto Max, but this time I'm going to use a 275 grain Barnes. Now I know that this is a hollow point, but it's solid copper and it's moving a lot faster than that 575 grain hard cast. Oh, check that out. It's stuck in the steel and it's probably really hot, so I'm not going to touch it. It's gonna. Well, I'm not getting that out of there. Again, we hit the 1/2 inch piece of steel with a 500 Auto Max, that time with a lighter, faster bullet. We still did not make it through the steel. There is a bulge back here again, but we did not make it through. It's time to hit the 1/2 inch piece of steel with the 50 BMG. I don't think we're going to have a problem getting through it. Goodness gracious. Yep, we made it through. Not a whole lot stops the 50. Oh, who is calling me? So now we have 6 5-gallon buckets of water set up. It took nearly an hour and a half to fill up 12 buckets of water using that siphon. We're not going to use hard cast for the 500 Auto Max this time, and we're not going to use steel core in the 50 BMG. Instead, we're going to use lead. For the 500 Auto Max, we're going to use a 500 grain lead flat nose. So we went through 1 bucket, 2 buckets, we punched into 3, but we did not make it out the back. And there's the bullet. That's awesome. That's a big piece of lead. So we went through 3 buckets with the 500 Auto Max. We have 9 buckets left, so I just went ahead and set all of them up. And now we're gonna hit them with the 50 BMG, and we're gonna use a 750 grain Hornady A-Max. Well, we definitely went through 1. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That ripped that bucket to shreds. Bucket number 2 also ripped to shreds. Well, looks like we stopped in bucket number 3. There's our entrance hole. And we do not have an exit hole. We do have a bulge though. And there's some bullet in here. And that is all that is left of the 750 grain A-Max. Well, the 50 BMG definitely hit these buckets with a lot more energy, but it did stop in the 3rd bucket, and the 500 Auto Max also stopped in the 3rd bucket. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out Bighorn Armory, and don't forget, you still have until July 1st to get $50 off a Serbu RN-50 if you mention Kentucky Ballistics on your initial call. I'm going to be making a few more videos with the AR-500, so for today's question I thought I'd ask, which 500 Auto Max video would you like to see next? 500 Auto Max versus Ballistic Gel, or 500 Auto Max versus Pine Board Box? Leave your answers in the comment section down below. Be sure and give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, and if you're a new subscriber, make sure you hit that little bell at the top. It's going to give you notifications when we upload new videos, and we upload new videos every week. I'm wearing my Defense Targets t-shirt today. Be sure and check them out. Also, be sure to check out Kentucky Ballistics clothing, and check us out on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll leave links in the description down below. Again, my name is Scott. You've been watching Kentucky Ballistics, and I'll see you next time.